Let's move on to a different topic or the second topic of the day. And for this, we have our expert, Harsh Roongta, founder of Fee Only Investment Advisors, LLP. Good evening, sir. So nice to have you on the show. In fact, very nice to connect with you after such a long time. Hope you've been well.
That's right, Kavita.
All
It's been
right.
a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So today we are going to talk about good debt and bad debt. But then just to give the basics first, what do you mean by debt?
So debt obviously would mean any loan that you would need to take to for anything. The loan could be to buy a home, it could be to buy a car, it could be to meet personal expenditure, it could be to get education for yourself, spouse, child, any loan, or for any other purpose. If you take a loan, I think you could define that as debt.
So now we talk about home loan being a part of good debt, when it comes to financial planning. But there are different forms of loans, different types of borrowings that we also see in our investment journey or in our life journey. Now, to distinguish in between, what do you mean by a bad loan, bad debt, or a good loan, good debt?
So obviously, this since you are the one taking the loan, we are not talking of the bad debt that we talk of in the context of banking, etc. What we are talking is what kind of loans are good for you to take and what kind of loans are not so good for you to take. And I think uh, we have this
Habit.
AAA framework.
Harsh sir,
Uh,
is taking loan a good habit in the first place? Should be one taking it if at all we have a good financial portfolio in place, if we have a proper planning in place, should we still go for a loan? Is that a good habit?
exactly. So exactly, that's absolutely a great question, and that is what I'm trying to answer. Sometimes, despite having a good portfolio, loan might make sense, and in what circumstances? So I think uh, two circumstances. Let's say first we'll talk of people who need to take a loan, and whether what kind of loans they should take and what kind of loans they should avoid. I think. The first thing is if a loan adds to your asset or it adds to your income. And second condition or second leg of that is it needs to be appropriate. So for people who just need to take a loan, it is, a home loan adds to an asset, right? Uh, an education loan that is for, improving yourself that will add to your income in the future. Or, an education loan taken to educate a child will add to the household income in the future. So, the first leg is satisfied. The second leg would be it should be appropriate. So if somebody is say earning 1 lakh rupees a month, which is 12 lakhs per annum, then if they are buying a home which is 6 crores, then it is not appropriate because the it is not supported by the income that they have. Uh, Similarly, if say an education in Harvard would add only, and that costs say 2 crores, and that adds only say 10,000 rupees per month to your income, then financially it may not be appropriate. Although, of course, an education in a great institution adds to your life in many, many ways, but financially it may not be appropriate. So I think this is for people who need to take a loan. You also ask the question, if you have a money already, should you take a loan? I think they would not go by good loan, bad loans, this kind of definition that we had. For people who already have the money, sometimes loans make sense if the post-tax cost of the loan is less than the return that they can get by investing that money somewhere on a reasonably comparable basis. And that arises in things like home loans or education loans, where there are huge tax benefits that are available on the deduction, on the interest, which brings down the cost substantially.
Let's also talk about buy now, pay later, or small ticket loans, which are really in trend these days. And retail investors or a normal person, if they want to splurge, buy now, pay later is something that's the first choice. Do these kind of loans reflect bad on your portfolio and can also become a bad loan for you?
So typically that would be, the answer to that would be yes. I mean, even the word that you have used is splurge, right? And obviously, if it is not subject to certain planning, it is just very convenient. And these are all designed to make you spend more. I mean, these are all designed around the credit cards. As you get free, supposedly free credit on credit cards. I can use my credit card, buy this stuff for 100 rupees, let's say. The shopkeeper only gets 98 and a half, and I get free credit. I pay it after 20 days. So where does this magic happen? Who's bearing this cost? So part of that cost, of course, the shopkeeper is bearing. Part of the cost comes from the fact that at least 40 to 50% of the people who spend through credit card are going to end up spending more. They will upgrade because it is so easy to spend. So a buy now, pay later is like an open-ended credit card which can be used for those specific things that you are talking about. It makes you overspend. By design, it is making you overspend. By design, therefore, they are not a great loan to have. I would classify them as a bad loan, because I cannot really think of a person who would take a buy now, pay later kind of a loan for a pre-designed pre-programmed. If he has made a budget for buying something, he would have made the budget for the money for that buying as well. So typically BNPL, buy now, pay later loans are typically impulse purchases, typically the kind of impulse that you will regret.
What about the use of credit card? Everyone wants to enjoy that 40 days of free credit. I mean, that's fine as long as you're paying it on time. But, a lot of these offers on 0% credit, you buy something and you pay from a certain credit card, you get this offer. How do you look at these kind of offers and later on the kind of loan that you're taking? Because then there are hidden charges in it. And a lot of people, as you just mentioned, that almost 30 to 40% of people go overboard when they swipe their credit cards. Definitely, we need credit card discipline here. But then what happens to these kind of loans where I'm talking about, which usually we'll see people splurging during festivals or anything big coming in their family?
So credit cards are an extremely useful invention for emergencies. I mean, you just imagine that, you don't have to carry around cash. Nowadays, in any hospital, a credit card is acceptable. You have to book an emergency flight, a credit card would be acceptable. So it is essential, to have a credit card. But I think, as we just mentioned, it forces you to do, it nudges you. It does not force you, obviously. It nudges you to overspend, and I think that is the real crux of the problem, that it forces you to overspend. Effectively, what you are doing is that you are spending tomorrow's money today, and you will have to repay that.
Hmm.
And there
Absolutely.
is no 0% interest. I mean, just like there is no tooth fairy. I
Right.
mean, similarly, there is no 0% interest.
Absolutely. And the best way to use credit card is maybe you can have it as your emergency money, or you can use it for your fuels or for your grocery shopping, wherever you get good points and rewards. So all in all, you've got to be a little conscious when you are taking loan. And as Harsh sir also explained, that as long as it's helping you create an asset and you know you have the paying back capacity, it's a good loan for you. Thank you so much, Harsh sir, for taking time and explaining this topic to our viewers.